Well, there's old roller bar rakes. Other than being old and about half wore out, they still do a alright job. Except you usually have to carry some bolts with you. Sometimes you go with thick hair. Those bolts around the back axle thing. Sometimes you gotta put a bolt in them. My neighbor, he borrowed them. Went up the road about 20 miles last week and raked quite a bit of hay. And anyway, I got another rake down there. It's a European. It's a European thing, and it's got 9 wheels on one side. 9 wheels on one side, and it's got 3 wheels on it. It's a flimsy thing, ain't much to it. But if you get the thing, the old 9-wheel rake, I was going to take a picture of it, but I was down in the sun a while ago, and I can't see the camera when I'm in the sun. And the old 9-wheel rake, if you get a level, straight field, the whole thing will do a pretty good job making windrows. And but if you rake on the side of the hill, the thing will slide down the side of the hill on you. The rake, you got to, in other words, you got to ride way up there with the. You got to ride the tractor way off, because the rake will run downhill on you. So anyway, I think it's June the 15th. No, it's the 16th on Wednesday. And June the 16th on Wednesday. So anyway, it's a beautiful day out here. And I'm going to get on this old 4020 and take this old green rake up the road and see if I can't rake with it. Some of that stuff, after you tethered it and after it got wet and you tethered, that stuff will ball up. When you get back here on this one time I hit the third, it's got 5 wheels on each side. By the time it gets back there to the 4th and 5th wheel, the stuff will ball up underneath that thing. And it'll ball up underneath that bar. I need one of those bars that rakes that newer ones that don't go up and down when you carry them down the road. That they run horizontal. And but anyway, I like using this old green one because if the hay's not too thick, I don't have to look behind me much. But anyway, it's a beautiful day here, and I guess I better get up there. I got 3 different systems that I can rake with, but I'm going to go up there and hope I can do it with that old green rake. Anyway, fooling around, going to the daggone doctor's appointment. Seemed like when you're young, you write stuff down on the calendar when you want to go have fun. But now it seems like when you get older, you got to write stuff down on the calendar because you got to go to doctors all the time. And that ain't no fun. So anyway, I guess that's the life goes. Of course, last Saturday, my wife had her 50th wedding anniversary. So I spent a little bit of time with her. Although she claims for the last 50 years, I always bale hay on our anniversary. So anyway, the sun didn't shine on that day, so I guess she was disappointed because I didn't bale no hay on that 50th anniversary day. So anyway, all right. But you know how it is. You take care of them for 50 years. Everything that ever happens is all your fault. And So that's the way it goes. So this old rake hitch, I made this gooseneck rake hitch, this gooseneck hitch here one day, a couple hours, and slapped together. Shoot, it's probably been 30 years now since I made that thing. But anyway, I used to be a pretty good welder, but I don't do it much anymore, so I'm getting a little rusty on it. So I'm going to fire up this old 40-20. This old 40-20, and I got a 1456 over there. This has got a power steering leak in there, so I got to get that stuff ordered and get going. So anyway, I'm gonna go fire things up and see if I can't get to raking some hay, and I'm sure it'll be ready to bale today. So we'll talk about everything else later. This rake in this field, it balled up back in the other field, but so far I'm sure it's going to do it in this field too. But anyway, these rakes, when the hay is thick, it balls up. And on the last two rakes, it'll ball up on the last two rakes. On that bar, the bigger green bar. And what it does, I raise the rake up, dump the hay off, pull up a little bit, drop the rake back down, and go on to the end of the field. And when I get to the end of the field, I turn around on the same windrow and go all the way back to the other end of the field. Go all the way back to the other end of the field and straighten that windrow up. It don't always work real good that way, but it usually does. But anyway, these green these rakes like I'm using, I only got the thing to cut the second cutting hay, because they will pick up everything. If you got good hay, you don't need many teeth on a rake. But when you get the second cutting, a lot of times, the stuff's short and fine, you do. But I can use the roller bar rake, but then I got to look behind me all the time. And then sometimes they leak over a little bit. not doing too bad right now. But anyway, I can't hold this camera. I probably got my finger in the way over there too. I can't hold the camera and operate the tractor too. But anyway, this old rake, when I get to the field, I pick it not all the way up, but I raise it up some so that I don't drag it around the corner. It leaves a mess when you drag it around the corner. And when I rake a field with this rake, usually I rake the whole field. Well, most of the time, with any rake, you have to go around the end of the field and make the inroads real good. But you especially need to do it with this thing. And this rake here, you can't take and divide. Normally you can't take and split for the middle of your haybine with. You got to take a whole swath because it don't go in the middle of a haybine. It don't go in the middle of a haybine and break it apart. But it works fine. Anyway, my 13-foot machine, this rake here, I can get 2 whole windrows with this rake. Now I'm going to turn this rake around. You saw how it balled up. I went to the end of the field. Now I'm going to start out on the end of the field, right after it got there. Now I'm going to drop this rake around. And I'm going to go the opposite way and pull all that stuff back in there. It don't always work. It don't always work. But it usually does. I've heard of people that never ever hear a cuss word out of it in their life. And they say these rakes here will definitely make you cuss. That's a big one there. It's not going to go in. It was too big. I got another one here in front of me. I don't think this one's going to go back in either. It's too big. But I'm almost. I'm here at the end of the field. But like I say, I usually turn around and go back the other way, and that takes care of it. Not always. Otherwise, sometimes you just have to bring the baler in here and run the baler. But I need to get me one of those rakes that the wheels stay up off the ground more when you're traveling down the road. Old Garland here. Well, I raked up, that's 20 acres or whatever I raked up in 4 different pieces. Anyway, some of it's going to look pretty rough. So anyway, I done parked the 40-20. I done parked the 40-20 up here. And I got a 26-40 that I have unhooked to the hay tedder here. And the 26-40 and the hay tedder, I don't know if it'll work this way or not. But anyway, I'm gonna ride the 26-40 home and get me a sandwich and get the old 1206 and the baler ready to come back up here and see what I can bale this evening. And when Jay Bear, he gets off from work, I got the 40-20 for those, some of those balled up windrows. He can take those, rake over some of those balled up windrows a little bit and straighten them out. So anyway, that's why I'm leaving the rake up here. I rake up here for him. So let's go home and get the baler and get going. Anyway, here's the old 26-40. This old 26-40 here has been on the farm. We bought it, my brother bought it used in 1982. So anyway, I guess it's done. All right, we hadn't done hardly anything to it. Of course, it was on a feed cart for years, and it was hooked up to the feed cart that fed the cows twice a day. And so anyway, sometimes those things get abused the most. All right, I'm going home and get the bale. Well, old Garland here, back here at 4:30. Just now I got the baler in the field. Anyway, somebody found a boat on the road the other day. Anyway, it was come from the inside, on the other side of here. But anyway, these here were loose too. So I guess when I get it back in the shed tonight, I'll snug them up again. But the one on the back side in there, it came clean out. Anyway, the axle, the whole wheel had moved over here about 3 inches. So I guess I gotta get moving. It's a whole lot closer to 8 o'clock now than it is a couple hours ago. So it's about 4:30. Let me get this old 12 moving.